Shalum, Shalum and welcome. Welcome to the White Roads Family Channel. If you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Symmanayah, and these are the words I'm compelled to present before an awakening set-apart nation. To those whom I believe are drawn by the Almighty Creator, the Almighty One, Yahuah. To Yahusha Mashiach, Yahusha, the name that reflects the word of Yahuah made manifest before us. The word, the name that reflects Yahuah manifests before us physically through the virgin birth. The name Yahusha that reflects the sacrifice, the resurrection. The name Yahusha that reflects the name of Yahuah's Spirit that is echoed to confirm his plan in motion. To you, my brothers and sisters, these messages are to you. These messages are to you. In this series, the Final Exodus Countdown 2023, I've defined why I believe the month known as December in the year 2023 will be the month that our final Exodus will be affirmed, or should I say confirmed, or even reaffirmed. Yashar'al, I encourage you to listen to the second installment of this series, The Final Exodus. In this series, I want to address the matter of refined and removed leaders, something that is occurring and that will grow intensely in the coming of days. I want you to take a moment, O Yashar'al, and listen to these words that scroll above my head. Are you truly satisfied with the individuals leading you? Are you truly satisfied with the individuals leading you? Hear, O set apart Yashar'al, there are promises made by the Almighty Father. Many of us may know that judgment began at the house of Yahuah first. And many of us know that there are leaders that will face judgment before the flock. Prepare to witness what is necessary to bring unity among a set-apart nation to fulfill the final Exodus. These installments I present are designed to bring your attention to the realities of what must and will come to be in the coming days. It is important to discover the responsibilities of set-apart leaders. Let me ask you a question. If you saw a bunch of people, a group of people, following one individual or two individuals, would you not describe those individuals as leaders? There are some people that think it's being humble to say, I'm not a leader. But if you are influencing another, if you are drawing attention to those who are following you in any way, shape, or form, you are a leader, whether you say it or not. Then there are those who assertively and anxiously state that they are leaders. They're even hungry for the titles, more, which means teacher, community head, pastor, deacon, spiritual leader. They hunger for these titles. But I say to you, O set apart family, begin to have discussions regarding what happens when that leader is no longer among you or among us. Begin to have discussions. If you are a leader, have I given my flock, those who follow me, those who listen to me, have I given them the instructions on how to discern the voice of the Spirit of Yahusha and walk in obedience and improve in worship to He who is the Almighty One? If not, it's time to prepare to face the discipline of the Almighty Father in such a way that it will refine you or me, or we will find ourselves removed. Let me continue. Yashar'al, there's no doubt intense times are here. Look around, O Yashar'al. Identify the signs of the time, but do not be consumed by the news and all that is happening. Know that the plan of the Almighty Father is unfolding. I want to address some matters as it relates to what is said in Matthew 24th chapter. Many of you may be all too familiar with it. Those who are drawn to identify what is happening among us. Yashar'al, my brothers and sisters, are you actually satisfied with the instructions that you're receiving? Are you satisfied with those who are influencing you? Consider this. In the 24th chapter of Matthew, you will see something, you'll see where it talks about not one stone shall be left. You see, Yashar'al, we don't think about the realities of what that means. Could that mean buildings collapsing? Mountains made low? And if these things occur, should we be in the building? How far should we be away from the building or the mountains? How far or where should we be placed? What position should we be in when the stones come tumbling down? Have your leader given you a response that contributes to you being confident in how you establish your feet, where you are, and at what time? Something else mentioned in the 24th chapter say, let no leading you astray. Do you know what it takes? Do you know how to vet? Do you know how to choose? Do you know how to lead? Do you know how to identify what to do to minimize or prevent someone leading you astray? Matthew 24 chapter talks about fighting and report of fighting. Do you know how to choose your battles? Do you know what fights you are supposed to participate in and which ones you are to walk away from? Are they teaching you what matters and what you must do regarding fighting and report of fighting? It talks about nations against nation. Do you know what side you're on? Do you realize, O Yashar'al, that you are a set-apart nation, a chosen people of the Almighty Father Yahuah? What nations fight against you? Do you know how to walk and understand what it means when he prepareth a table in the midst of our enemies? It speaks of scarcities of food, deadly diseases, and earthquakes. Are your leaders talking about rationing food? What foods to take? When to leave the food behind? You see, there will be some people who are told to gather food, and there will be some people who will be told to gather, to leave, to move. And when they reach their destinations, they will find food. We must discern those who have and those who will not, how to ration it and how to present it. You see, I've seen communities that talks about the food that they have, but I don't see the community heads talking about how we are prepared to vet those who come into our community, how we are prepared to ration the food as the numbers around us get enlarged. It's as though they're saying, I got mine, using the parable of the maidens with the oil. Not realizing these are end times. There are times where out of love, we must ration food. There are times we must guard the rations. There are times we must keep those away. Deadly diseases and earthquakes. Are our leaders telling us what to do, how to govern ourselves, how to navigate through all the uncertainty, all the intense times that are unfolding? Are you sure you're with the right leader? Beginning of birth pains. Are our leaders, is your leader presenting a sister or sisters to identify what birth pains are? Do they talk about the anxieties and the challenges that the mother-to-be is experiencing? The discomfort, the anxiousness, and how to deal with that? Just as this should be known amongst us, birth pains, both natural and spiritual, are our leaders telling us how to navigate, how to function, how to govern ourselves during these birth pains that are unfolding. As forced migration has begun, it will get intensive. It will intensify. Yashar'al, in the 24th chapter of Matthew, it also talks about delivering you up, with some being killed for Yahusha's name. Let me ask you, my brother, my sister, are you satisfied with your leader, those who are leading us? And this is not a solicitation saying I'm trying to steal somebody else's congregants, so to speak. But it is a solicitation to know how to vet, know how to choose, know how to make the right decision, know when to come away or when to purge. Yashar'al, oh Yashar'al, intense times are here and they will get even more intense. Guidance and deliverance. Are you satisfied with the guidance you're receiving from your leader, from your moray, from your pastor, your deacon, your bishop? Keep in mind, my brothers and sisters, keep in mind why identifying set-apart obedient leaders, knowing what actions to take, why this is important. Come with me. When the scriptures talk about judgment begin at the house of Yahuah first, do you think that comes without discipline? And while there are those who say, for many are called, but few are chosen, do you not think this comes with discipline? It's not about saying I'm chosen and that's it. It's about discipline, perfection, and set apartness. It's about walking in obedience to the Almighty Father. Let me read the following passages. Matthew 22:14 say, for many are called, but few are chosen. Rise up, O Yashar'al. There will be leaders either refined, which is another word for discipline, or removed. Some will shock us. Yashar'al, O Yashar'al. The time is now to realize how serious matters are, how close we are to that time ordered to move. My brothers and sisters, we must know the why. It would be wise to not only know it, but to be prepared to respond. Let me read Romans 12:3. For I say through the favor which has been given to me, to everyone who is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he should think, but to think soberly, as the Almighty One has given to each a measure of belief. This is important, O Yashar'al, for there are many among us who would have you think that the community head is the most important. What good is the community head if it's only him or her? There are bishops and deacons who would think highly of themselves. What good is that position if there are no followers? What discipline is there if they want to teach you or teaching you or demonstrate to you that their positions is the most important? Yashar'al, oh Yashar'al. Come with me. Discerning when to come away is important. There were times when Yashar'al moved and came away, and there were times Yashar'al purged. But here I want you to think about leaders that will face a time where we will come away from them. Hear these words, O Yashar'al, and recognize what must be done in order to have unity among us. A leader cannot continue in wickedness and arrogance with set-apart obedient ones among him or her. Know when to come away, O Yashar'al. There's also a time for purging. When many understand, as Yashar'al, as the obedient ones start to come together, there will be the leaders that will rise up among them. That the obedient ones together by the power and might in the orders of the Almighty Father will have to purge them from among us. Consider 1 Corinthians 5, 1 through 5. This is a passage which many people do not understand. You rarely hear of anyone speak of this passage. They believe that it's speaking to someone that is not a set-apart brother or sister. And I say to you, on the contrary, it is about a brother that is disobedient and will face refinement or discipline that was purged. Let me read it. It's commonly reported that there is whoring among you, and such whoring as is not even named among the nations, so as one to have his father's wife. Now, I know many of you saying, well, he can't be a brother if he got his father's wife. Do we not stumble and fall, O Yashar'al? Do not the flesh war against the spirit? So be mindful. The scriptures are written to the children of Yahuah for instruction, for life, to strengthen us, to walk in these precepts. Precept upon precept, O Yashar'al, let us not be walking contradiction. For there are self-righteous leaders that would have you believe there's no way that brother could be part of the set-apart family if they're doing that. But I say the flesh war against the spirit. Even those drawn by Yahuah, we stumble and fall because the scriptures tell us that the flesh war against the spirit. Let me continue in that passage. 2nd verse. I'm in the 5th chapter of 1 Corinthians. And you have been puffed up and did not rather mourn, so he who has done this deed be removed from among you. And here Shaul is ordering to deliver that person, to get him, to purge that person. He said, for I indeed, as absent in the body, but present in the spirit, have already judged the one who did this as though I were present. In the name of Master Yahusha Messiah, when you are gathered together in my spirit with the power of our Master Yahusha Messiah, deliver such a one to Satan for the destruction of the flesh, in order that his spirit be saved in the day of Master Yahusha. Now, one would say, why would you deliver a brother or sister to Satan? Flesh war against the spirit, my brothers and sisters. He's saying deliver that person to prove that the fruit of that person's wickedness is no good. And if you purge that person from among him, he, being a brother, will face the regret and the discipline that is rightfully due him. And that discipline may be a discipline unto death, or it may be a discipline that brings him into repentance and restored into the body. Making compromise and allowing wicked just to keep being in there saying the flesh war against the spirit is not a wise thing. We must know when to purge. Are our leaders demonstrating when to purge, when to receive? What is happening? Are they teaching us how to vet and examine one and know what protocols to take that will lead up to the purging from among us? You see, my brothers and sisters, as end times come, there are things that will happen, that must happen. And either you for set-apartness or you're not. Placement in positions. With movement comes placement. What position have you been placed? Are you a leader? Each of us should be able to say we are prepared to lead as the Spirit of Yahusha guides us, as the Spirit of the Almighty Father, Yahuah, directs. Placement. Do we know when to yield? Do we know when to submit one to another when Yahusha is speaking through the other? our leaders demonstrating to us how to be a servant, how to serve. Serve, presenting all that is set apart, confirming what is set apart. Yashar'al, O Yashar'al, come with me. For there are many members in the one body, my brothers and sisters. Do we know when to yield, when to recognize the things that are important? Do we know when to listen as the Spirit of Yahusha speaks to a brother or a sister? Do we truly know the dynamics of a leader? Yashar'al, consider Romans chapter 12, verse 1 through 5. It says, I call upon you, therefore, brothers, through the compassion of the Almighty One, to present your bodies a living offering, set apart, well-pleasing to the Almighty One, your reasonable worship. Many people believe this sacrifice to Yahuwah, present our body, is just directly to him in spirit alone. But I say to you, my brothers and sisters, when we yield to another brother or sister that is being used, whether it be for a minute, a moment, days, weeks, whenever the Almighty Father chooses to speak through whomever he see fit, do we know how to make that sacrifice and listen to that brother or sister? You see, it's not just about saying, well, I sacrifice to Yahuwah and disregard that he works in us and through us in the name of Yahusha. And he goes on to say, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. This mind is speaking of is your spirit. Our spirits are, as we grow in maturity. You see, the flesh war against the spirit, but the spirit is renewed day by the words and power and might of the Almighty Father. Renewing of our spirit. And our spirit is used to manage and bring into subjection the thoughts of the flesh, the thoughts that's been, the behaviors that's been acquired through how we was raised. Yashar'al, O Yashar'al, let us not be conformed to this world. Are our leaders teaching us what these words mean? Are they presenting the life in these scriptures? Are they spending more time going to the Hebrew, which could be Paleo or modern, only to bring you back to the English, back to the Hebrew, back and forth? Time is important during these end times. Time is of critical essence, O Yashar'al. Discover the life in the many members of this one body. And if the leader does not define and present how it is to function, witness the discipline of the Almighty Father go before him or her. He says, therefore I say through the favor which has been given me to everyone who is among you, not to think of himself more highly as he should think, but think soberly, as the Almighty One has given to each a measure of belief. For we have many members in one body, but all members do not have the same function. So we, the many, are one body in Messiah, and members, each one of one another. My brothers and sisters, let me continue. It is important for us to discern and understand this priesthood that many have come to know. What does it mean we are a holy priesthood? A set apart priesthood. Let me read the following. 1 Peter 2, 4, and 5. Drawing near to him, a living stone, rejected indeed by men, but chosen by the Almighty One and precious. But chosen. Drawing near to him, a living stone, rejected indeed by men, but chosen by the Almighty One and precious. You also, as living stones, are being built up a spiritual house, a set-apart priesthood, to offer up spiritual slaughter offerings acceptable to the Almighty One through Yahusha Messiah, Yahusha Messiah. Yashar'al, a priesthood, a stone. A stone is unchanged, shaped and forged by the hand of the Almighty Father. Influenced by no one save the Almighty Father Yahuwah in Yahusha's name. So it is important for us to know that he works through us, in us, one towards another. So though we may speak to each other, We must identify, are these words coming from the Almighty Father? We must learn. It would be wise to learn. And this end time season will prove the need to discern and understand the priesthood. Skip down to the 9th and 10th verse of 1 Peter. But you are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a set-apart nation, a people for a possession, that you should proclaim the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light, who once were not a people, but now the people of the Almighty One, who had not obtained compassion, but now obtain compassion. Prepare, O Yashar'al. Prepare to fulfill your duties, my brother, my sister. Prepare to do what is expected. Decisions must be made. Are you prepared to choose wisely? Are you, yes, you, the one in the mirror, the one who this message have reached? Are you aware of what is expected of you? Are you in the right place? Do you know how to move? Do you know when to be still, when to speak, when to be silent? Yashar'al, O Yashar'al. The leaders among us, though many have gotten there through various means. In other words, they have gotten to that point where they're your leader or a leader. But as end times get intense, we will see smaller groups merge with larger groups, get with larger and larger groups to form the final exodus. And as we see this happening, there will be times the leader must pass the baton, so to speak. In other words, the leader must step aside. He or she may have led individuals to the larger group, and then there's a leader of that larger group. And as the group gets larger and larger, it may not be the same leader, or your leader may take on more responsibility. Have your leader spoke to you about the Almighty Father may enlarge their responsibility, and they may not be able to give you the personal attention that you need? Have your leader spoke of you of saying there could come a time when I may have to step aside? Have your leader spoke of you of the time that they may die? A true leader prepares those who follow him or her. A true leader prepares them in the midst of any event of their absence. That individual or those individuals know what to expect. A true leader emphasizes that leadership is serving. A true leader emphasizes that leadership lays down their life for the individual. But this is done as the Spirit of Yahuah directs, not someone dictating. You're going to lay your life down for me? You're going to lay down your life? But they should be prepared if it's so ordered to do so. Leaders, my brothers and sisters, prepare to say goodbye to some of them. Yashar'al, my brothers and sisters, they will not be elected, though some may have gotten there. The set-apart nation of Yashar'al is not a democracy. And I said, these messages are to those drawn by the Almighty Father Yahuah. Anyone outside of that, these words do not apply to you. Do what you see fit and as you see fit. But these words do not apply to you, my brothers and sisters. How long do you think it will become evidence of what leaders are being refined and which need to be removed? Never forget there are misleading mores, teachers, who will face correction or be removed. There are warnings that go forth, whether someone say, woe or be advised. Let me just give you a sample of the warning to leaders, mores, community head, pastors, teachers, spiritual influence. Example of warnings. Jeremiah 23:1. Jeremiah 23:1 says, woe to the shepherds destroying and scattering the sheep of my pasture, declares Yahuah. What do you think is behind that woe? What do you think are the actions that will come? Turn with me to Matthew 23, 25 through 28. Matthew 23, 25 through 28. Come with me, my brothers and sisters. And it reads, "Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you clean the outside of the cup and dish, but inside they are filled with plunder and unrighteousness. Blind Pharisee, first clean the inside of the cup and dish, so that the outside of them become clean too. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you are like whitewashed tombs, which outwardly indeed look well, but inside are filled with dead men's bones and all uncleanliness. So you too outwardly indeed appear righteous to men, but inside you are filled with hypocrisy and lawlessness." Yashar'al, O Yashar'al. We must never forget there are the misleading, moray, leader, teacher, community head, the arrogant, the overconfident, those whose heads are swelled to speak ego above lifting up Yahusha Mashiach. Once again, O Yashar'al, I want to present to you why it is important to understand the life in the passages of scriptures. And as it relates to leaders, we must examine one another. We must know what it is that is necessary. Yashar'al, O Yashar'al, hard decisions are ahead. Tough choices are before us. Are you satisfied with the individuals that are leading you? And if you are one of the leaders, are you satisfied with what you're doing? Are you demonstrating what the Almighty Father will have you demonstrate before his people? Come with me to Philippians 1, 9 through 11. Philippians 1, 9 through 11. It reads, "In this I pray, that your love might extend more and more in knowledge and all discernment." Discernment is when the Spirit of Yahushua reveal, make known. It say, "For to examine the matters that are different, in order to be sincere and not stumbling into the day of Messiah, being filled with the fruit of righteousness through Yahushua Messiah, to the esteem and praise of the Almighty Father." We must grow in knowledge and discernment to differentiate between the obedient, set-apart leaders and those who aren't. And if they're leaving out things just to kind of elevate themselves, something is wrong. Prepare to witness the hand of the Almighty Father, whether it be the one in the mirror being disciplined or someone that have been functioning as a leader. People think just because they don't say that they're a leader, that it doesn't make them a leader. As I mentioned earlier, if you saw a group following one or two people, those one or two people will be called leaders, whether they wear the title or not. The function that is defined would be leaders. In 1 John 4, 1 through 4, we read these words, my brothers and sisters. 1 John chapter 4, verse 1 through 4. It says, "Beloved ones, do not believe every spirit, but prove the spirits, whether they are of the Almighty One, because many false prophets have gone out into the world." Do you know how to prove the spirits? Do you think it's about scriptural battle? I say that's not the case. It's about discerning, present the scriptures that he has, but stepping back, knowing that the power and might of the Almighty Father is at hand and will prove all things. It says this, "By this you know the Spirit of the Almighty One. Every spirit that confesses that Yahushua Messiah has come in the flesh is of the Almighty One." Now, some will take that passage and think it's just about confessing that Yahushua Messiah is Yahuwah, word manifested in the flesh, and they think that's it. Do not mistake erroneous teachings with more that is necessary to understand in recognizing a brother or sister that is truly a part of the set-apart family of Yashar'al. It says, "Every spirit that does not confess that Yahushua Messiah has come in the flesh is not of the Almighty One. And this is the spirit of the anti-Messiah, which you heard is coming, and now it's already in the world. You are of the Almighty One, little children, and have overcome them, because he who is in you is greater than he who is in the world. That victory, that demonstration of overcoming the wicked one, my brothers and sisters, we will recognize when we open our eyes after physical death on Resurrection Day, or we will recognize through the power and might of the Spirit of Yahuah working in us, through us daily, demonstrating the power that is keeping us together, that is bringing us together, that is drawing us together. Yashar'al, oh Yashar'al. There's so much work to be done. Consider these words, my brothers and sisters. He who seeks to do the will of the Almighty Father, the Almighty Yahuah, will grow to know the voice of his Spirit. Yes, we can grow to know the voice of the Spirit of Yahuah. Yes, we can study the scriptures, and as they are made alive, we will find how they bring balance, confirmation, and reaffirmation to this journey, to what must be done. My brothers and sisters, there will be replacements in the coming days ahead among some of us. Some of us will die. Some of us will become extremely sick, or we are unable to lead. Some of us will become extremely weak. And out of all of this, there will be some of us that will rise up renewed, stronger than ever, refined by the hand, by the might, by the power of the Almighty Father Yahuah working in us, through us, one towards another. And some will be plainly removed. Watch, O Yashar'al. There cannot be unity and a final exodus with compromising leaders, egotistical leaders. End times are here. Prepare to witness the disciplined hand of the Almighty Father. Remember, O Yashar'al, remember these words as written in Revelation 3:19. As many as I love, I reprove and discipline. So be ardent and repent. Are our leaders teaching us the power of atonement? The power of being washed in the blood of the Lamb? The power and the functioning of the word of Yahuah, renewing us when we repent and seek forgiveness so that we can step forward. It is so much ahead of us, O Yashar'al, than what's behind us. Do not let the weights of condemnation, do not let the weight and the pain of discipline cause you to not know how to get under the blood of the Lamb. Be renewed and refreshed and step up and step out and step forward, O Yashar'al. Replacements are coming. Prepare to say your goodbyes. Hebrews 12:11 lets us know that indeed no discipline seems pleasant at the time, but grievous, but afterward it yields the peaceable fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it. Yashar'al, O Yashar'al, what say you on this word? Do you believe it's going to be a great exodus, but fail to accept what it takes for that to happen? Many believe it cannot happen before the physical turn of Yahusha because they don't understand how unity will come to be. But look around, O Yashar'al, our environments, pandemics, earthquakes, tsunamis, floods, storms, even evictions, forced movement, foreclosures, civil unrest. You see, Yashar'al, there are going to be elements of the verse matters that will bring us to yield and be the leader we're called to be, or be the one to follow that leader and confirm and reaffirm that leader's position. Yashar'al, O Yashar'al, deliverance come. The set apart children of Yahuah will soon be made whole. What does it take? I look at the West Coast and I see the wildfires. I see the droughts. What does it take for Yashar'al? Now those outside the body of Yashar'al, let them be. They are as those in the outer court. Let them be. But you, O Yashar'al, are you listening? Are you receiving the need to move? Gird up, O Yashar'al, and seek to discern that movement time has begun. Don't wait to the congestion and say, I wish I woulda, coulda, shoulda. Don't wait till a brother or sister loses his life before you convince it's time to begin your migration. Don't wait for evictions or foreclosure. You might say, well, Yahuwah isn't in that if he loves us. Trust me, O Yashar'al. The words promised by the Almighty Father will come. And the conditions that it takes to bring about obedience will be identified, and obedience will come for many. And that many will be a remnant when you compare it to the population of the entire world. But Yashar'al will be made whole. My brothers, there is the possibility for each of us to grow to understand what true discernment is. When I say discern and choose wisely, if you don't know how to discern, ask questions, pray, and ask before the Almighty Father. He who seeks him, for he knows the heart and the intent of each of us. And he knows how to get through and reveal what is necessary. Ask the one in the mirror, are the responses from your leaders truly a reflection of what must be done? Ask that question, O Yashar'al. The one in the mirror. To what must be done? Do you know? Are you walking in that path that will take you to the answer to that question, O Yashar'al? Yes, these are difficult times ahead, my brothers and sisters. But we must, and we will, grow to understand what is expected of us. One day, my brother, my sister, one day, one of us may grow to say one of these three words. I wish that I would have. I should have. I am glad that I did. Come, my brothers and sisters, let us be among chosen and obedient leaders. Let us be among them, and let us participate if we are so chosen in order to lead, as we witness Yashar'al become made whole. My brother, my sister, my family, discern how to navigate through the leadership change. As leaderships begin to change, don't spend a lot of time saying, I wonder what happened to him or her. I wonder why this happened and that. Time will prove that as movement begin to ramp up with intensity, my brothers and sisters, we're not going to have time trying to wonder why and who and entertain gossip and all that innuendo. Leave the baggage. Know when to let go of the baggage. Know when to step forward. Walk forward to press into what is expected as we move into these end times, my brothers and sisters. I want to take a moment and salute your patience, your desire to pursue set of partners, your love for the Almighty Father Yahuwah. Hear these words, O Yashar'al. Never forget that the Almighty Father knows the very intent of each of us. Never forget that he will provide the leadership that is necessary. His plan will and is and will prove to be and has proven to be successful. What say you, my brother, my sister? Ask questions. Ask questions, sincere questions. Seek out the answer. I invite your conversation. I invite your questions. I invite you to visit YahusWatchman.net. There is a submission form on the contact page, and I will respond to you. And we can work towards physically coming together, speaking to each other one-on-one or in groups. It's not about me, but I will share all that have been given me and presented before you. I will also listen. But I'm not talking about compromise gatherings. I'm talking about those who believe they are drawn by the Almighty Father, who believe they can discern or are able or seeking to discern what the Spirit of the Almighty Father is saying. So much work to do. There is a list of things I've compiled or put together that I believe are messages that I must present. I must ask your forgiveness because it seems as though I'm slow in putting them up. I wrestle. I pray. I seek to discern and be obedient. So much. I used to say I'm overwhelmed. And one day I woke up and it was as though the Spirit of the Almighty Father, I believe it was He who is the Almighty One in Yahusha's name, said, I don't want you using the word overwhelmed. Remember, I said that my servants, my children who obey me will come to know what it is for their cup to run over, for words to come out like a flowing fountain. And I came to that correction. But I say to you, O Yashar'al, help me. Help me to spread the word to brothers and sisters and preparing for the realities of what's to come and preparing for the unifying of a set-apart family and the preparing of vetting, choosing leaders as the Almighty Father would direct me or you or them. But there are some leaders that will be purged. There are some leaders we will come away from. There are some leaders that will be refined. Help me, O Yashar'al. Reach out. And if you'd like to help me financially, one way is through the Cash App, White Rose Family. And you might say, well, what does this money go to? It helps sustain me from a natural and practical perspective. It helps me to forge forward in working on the plan regarding the things I am charged to contribute towards the gathering of a set-apart nation in the Western Hemisphere. Help me, O Yashar'al. And I am confident that the Almighty Father hardened heart and softened hearts. I am confident that help is on the way. I am confident that what is required to bring Yashar'al together will emerge out of all the chaos and civil unrest that is occurring, out of all the natural disasters that are occurring. I am convinced gradually more and more are going to say, I need to start drawing closer to those who are indeed walking in obedience to the Almighty Father. Are you one of those? Pray and watch. Our redemption will prove to be magnified as we are delivered from one point to the next point to ultimately we return to the promised land as described in the scriptures. On that note, O Yashar'al, I salute your patience, your tolerance. It's not about me, but it is about obeying and worshiping the Almighty Father. Judge me. That is okay. And encourage. But judge me righteously, my brother, my sister. On that note, I pray that you are in good health. I pray that you have the strength to endure whatever challenges are before you. I pray more than anything that your senses are sharpened to discern the voice of the Spirit of Yahusha speaking to you directly or through another. On that note, in the name of Yahusha, I come to you, O set-apart family. My name is Symmanayah, and I say these words in parting. Shalom.